event, and I'd like to welcome you all to this celebration. I was the very first mayor of Patterson. I was appointed by the governor when the town was chartered in 1893. I was born in Bullock County, where I was involved in running a sawmill. I moved to Patterson in 1881 and became involved in a general merchandise business and began studying medicine. Pretty soon I had established a good practice and was the leading doctor in Pierce County. In 1902, my wife, Miss American Donaldson Avant, and I retired to Savannah, Georgia, where we lived the rest of our lives.
Hi, my name is Mabel Aspinwall. In 1968, I was the first woman to be elected to serve on the City Council of Patterson. My husband and I moved to Patterson in the 1940s to farm with his parents. We also went into business with W.J. Rich at the Rich grocery store. Later, we sold our interest in the grocery store and opened Aspinwall & Son General Merchandise Store.
I'm Aiden. My name is Blythe. Hey, my name is Callie.
I'm Rylan Dixon, and I'm going to tell you about my great-great-great-grandparents, Canvas and Elizabeth Davis. They lived on a farm at the dead end of Railroad Avenue East in Patterson. Their home was the first home in Patterson to receive electricity. But because they boarded the employees from Georgia Railway and Power Company, later known as Georgia Power Company, when power lines were being built in Patterson, here is a picture of their house.
My name is Russ Murray, and I am going to tell you about my great-great-grandfather, Clifford Howers. Clifford Howers was a businessman who owned the local grocery store in Patterson that he later sold to his brother, Claude. Then he started the Patterson Milling Company.
Now children, you better have your homework done and have enough notes taken or you're going to get a paddling. Oh, hi there. My name is Azora Thomas. I've probably been teaching here in Patterson longer than anyone else. I probably taught your mama and daddy. Shoot, I may have even taught your grandparents. It's true, I am a tough teacher, but I do love my students. I show them pictures and movies from all the trips I take, and I want them to be the best at whatever they choose one day.
Hey, I'm Riggs. Hey, I'm Adeline.
Hey, my name is Fisher.
Riggs, Adeline, and Fisher's great-grandparents are Mr. and Miss Oswald Smith. Most of you remember Mr. Oswald as the vocational agriculture teacher at Patterson High School. What you may not know, however, is that he went to the University of Georgia on a basketball scholarship. It is true, he was the winningest ag teacher in Georgia. Under his guidance and direction, Jim Thomas was named Georgia's first national FFA president. Most of you will remember Miss Kitty Smith as Patterson High School's home economics teacher. However, she started her career as a chemistry teacher. She traveled to New York several summers in the 1950s and earned her master's degree in home economics from Columbia University. Miss Kitty was the valedictorian of her graduating class in Glenville. She was never involved in anything that she wasn't the president of before she got finished with it.
Additionally, we are privileged to know a person who is able to enrich our lives simply by being him or herself. Lester Dixon was just such a person. If you were privileged to know him, you were blessed. Some of his many accomplishments are listed here for you.
Hey, my name is Shorty Heron. I drove a school bus in Patterson back when school bus drivers had to buy their own buses. I spent many of Friday nights with some of you, and I drove the Patterson Eagle football team all over the country. Hey, y'all be quiet back there.
Hi, my name is Gertrude Walker. I grew up here in Patterson. My roots here in this little town took me places I've never dreamed of going. First, I went to New York, and while I was there, I married into a royal family and traveled to Europe. While in Europe, my husband fought with the Allied forces in World War II, and unfortunately, he was killed. As a young American widow in Europe, I was appointed to the role of personal secretary of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Commander of the Allied troop. It was quite a big job for a young lady like me, but I think I represented Patterson well.
R.D. Thomas was born December 6, 1906 in Kissimmee, Florida. He and his parents moved to Patterson in 1918. He married Louise O. Quinn. R.D. was vice president of the Brantley Company, the Blackshear Bank, and the Blackshear Manufacturing Company, also director of the Pierce Trading Company and the Patterson Bank. He held one-half interest in the E.L. Walker Company until 1952, when it closed and reopened as the Thomas Company, owned by R.D. and Aileen Thomas. He was superintendent of the Sunday school and a deacon in the Patterson Baptist Church for a number of years.
Hi, I'm Jed Bradley, and this is Mason and Russ McIntosh. Their great-great-grandfather, C.H.D. Yeomans, was the first school superintendent in Pierce County. This was in the era of one-room schoolhouses in every community. He died in 1963.
Hey, I'm Bradley.
Hi there, my name is Roswell James. I was the first forester for the Georgia Forestry Commission in Pierce County. Dennis Hamilton and I ran the creosote treating plant. I was the first one in this area. We treated fence posts for farmers in this part of the country. On Sundays, I taught the men's Bible class at Patterson Baptist Church. The closest Boy Scout unit was in Waycross, so I started a Patterson Rangers Club for boys in Patterson. We met weekly and went on camping trips every month.
My name is Miss Maxine James, and I owned and operated a ladies' dress shop here in Patterson called Maxine's Shop. Unfortunately, I fell ill with Hodgkin's disease, and when my children were just 10 and 12 years old. Even though I was very sick and often hospitalized, I never missed a single one of my son's football games. I left a legacy of being a dedicated wife and mother to my children and grandchildren, and some very well-dressed women of Patterson.
My name is Ruthie Buttright, and I'm going to tell you about my great-great-grandfather, James Pratt Barnard, Sr. He was born October 18, 1906. His wife was Miriam Dixon Barnard. He did some farming and worked in the shipyards for about 2 years. Then he rented the service station on the corner of Highway 82, now 84. and Highway 32. While he was running the service station, he decided to build a home for his family. It was the first brick house built in Patterson. That was the beginning of Barnard Construction and the Barnard Company. He was a deacon at Patterson Baptist Church and served on the Patterson City Council. He also served as mayor of Patterson from 1959 to 1962. J.P. Barnard Sr., J.P. Barnard Jr., and J.P. Pete C. Barnard III are the only father, son, and grandson who all served as mayor of Patterson.
Hey, my name is Jay.
My name is Addie Eccles.
Hey, I'm Abby.
Hey there, my name is Nesbra Thomas. I was the mayor of Patterson for the longest period of time than any other mayor. You might have tasted my famous barbecue sauce. The recipe is still a secret, so shh, don't tell anyone.
Dr. Oakwin was born in Wayne County and went to Mercer to college. He later went to medical school. He was the first doctor in Patterson. He had a stroke and spent his last 18 years in a wheelchair. He had 4 children, Foster, Osborne, Mary, and Louise. Foster was a pharmacist in Patterson, and he was the president of the Patterson Bank. He was also a farmer. Foster was instrumental in getting doctors to come to this area.
Frank Hall is well remembered all over these parts for his dog kennels, but what you may not know is how Frank Hall got his start in the dog business. He was Henry Ford's personal dog trainer at the Ford Plantation in Richmond Hill, Georgia.
Hey, I'm Effie Mae Womack. January 1946, when Jimmy and I bought the Patterson drugstore from Dr. Thompson, we were afraid. We had never been in business before and had a lot to learn. Jimmy knew no one and I only knew a few people that I was distantly related to. The second night, around closing time, a small black man with a narrow-brimmed hat came in the store. He didn't say a word. Jimmy asked him if he could help him with something. He still did not move or say anything. Finally, he asked in no uncertain terms, "Do you people intend to keep my store clean? I want to know right now." We assured him that we would do everything in our power to keep the place clean. Then he informed us if we would get a broom, he'd sweep up all this mess on the floor. It was a Saturday night and we had a really big, busy day. Dr. Thompson was in the back, just bent over with laughter. He apologized for not telling us about Yance before he came in for a look-see. He explained that Yance was as humble as a lamb, talked to himself all the time, and felt like he owned all the stores. And if you treated him with respect and he liked you, he would be of the utmost help to us.
All of this proved true. He faithfully went to the depot with Jimmy and helped unload the big boxes of drugs. We tried to pay him, but he informed us that he had no need for money. Yance was what you would call a character in his own rights. Everybody loved and respected him because he tried hard to take care of everybody on the whole street. He is still remembered today for his kindness and deep, sincere concern for all of the Patterson merchants.